Vamos. Vamos un poquinho. Good evening, guys. Good evening, people who follow us on YouTube. We are here with a group of friends, and we are on a new English conversation in our community. This is unbelievable. Just to let you know a little bit about this kind of conversations, we are here just for practicing our English, just to put it in practice. We believe that it's important to, as already said, put this in practice, not just let it in the theoretical part or in our notebook, so that we are here with Ebenezer, Lucas, and Fernanda. Today we'll be talking about a specific topic that it's virtual versus in person. It's gonna be like in a work, in a job context, or in a study, in an educational context. So it's gonna be kind of interesting. I believe that the majority here work or study online. I'm not sure, and we are gonna figure it out now in this conversation. We normally start with a self-presentation. I believe we can do it now because we have a new member on our English conversation. Fernanda, I believe it's your first time here in this English sessions. So let's start with our self-presentation. Fernanda, please, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello guys, I'm Fernanda. I live in São Paulo. Nowadays, I work as a Spanish teacher. When I have free time, I like to practice different languages as English and French and Spanish too. And that's it. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
The pleasure is ours. Thank you so much, Fernanda. Lucas, go ahead. Introduce yourself to us.
Of course. Hello, guys. I'm Lucas. I'm 26 years old. I live in São Paulo. I am a pharmacist, and I like to play soccer. I like to watch series, movies, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Lucas. You are always welcome to these sessions. Ebenezer, please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ebenezer. I'm a software developer. I'm living in Brazil. One of my interests is make sports. Football, soccer is my favorite one, and of course, I love cooking. It's one of my best pastimes. I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer. To the last but not the least, me. My name is Christian Jimenez. I am from Bolivia as Ebenezer. So we have two Bolivians here and two Brazilian guys, a couple, as a matter of fact. I live here in Brazil. I work in IT area as well. I am 37 years old. I am married. I love learning new languages. I love playing football as well. Unfortunately, I don't have the chance to do that here in Curitiba yet. Also, I like to play volleyball. I normally play once a week, so I I try to do that kind of exercise, that kind of sport. I believe that's it, a little bit about me. So let's dive in our today's topic. As I already mentioned it is virtual versus in person. So let's move to the question number one. Uh, I'm going to start with you, Lucas, okay? Do you prefer working or studying virtually or in person? I'm not sure you can work remotely. You said that you're a pharmacist, and so we are gonna know a little bit more about this part of your work or the way that you study, perhaps. So, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I need to work in person because my job, but I prefer to work and study in person because I don't know. I like to talk with others and to have a relationship with the team, the other people. And for me, it's important. And about to study, I I am not. I have a problem to organize my studies when I need to study by myself at home. So I tried to do some courses online course, but it is really hard for me. So I prefer to study in person.
That's great, and it's totally okay. I know that there are some people who say, "Oh, working or studying remotely is the best. You are at home." But on the other hand, we have other group of people who prefer to do in a different way or in the like the normal that was normal before, and it's okay. Sometimes it works well for somebody, and it doesn't work for another person, and it's okay. And what about you, Ebenezer? Do you work remotely? Do you go to the office nowadays?
Well, nowadays I make like a hybrid uh, period. And in the morning I work at home. In the afternoon I go to the desktop. But my preference, well, I really prefer something like hybrid, like maybe some days at home and other days at the office, because I think that maybe communication could be faster when you are in person, right? And well, it depends. They have pros and cons, both of them. That's why I really prefer I hybrid. A combination of two of them could be better.
Got it. So a hybrid is like every other day you go to the office and some day you stay at home. Something interesting about communication, at least in IATech, that is the institution that we work. Well, as a matter of fact, guys, Ebenezer and I, we work for the same institution. So I know the desk that he goes normally. And even though when we are in the same places, sometimes when we have meetings or we need somebody's help, we don't go to that place where is your colleague. We just send a message by Teams, that is the software that we normally use. So even though we are in the same place, we still communicate like virtually. So it's something bizarre, I'm gonna say. So yeah, what about you, Fernando? Do you prefer working online, study online? Let us know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think nowadays I prefer work and study online because I think it's easier to do this at home. But it's good also have some moments to share ideas in person. I think 100% online is complicated because sometimes you need to be really organized to do everything, to have focus, and also you can feel a little bit lonely. I don't know, but I prefer virtually study and work.
Got it. Yeah, I totally agree with that part. For working virtually, you need to be a really organized person. You have to like organize all of your tasks. Otherwise, you could like get lost, or perhaps you can lose your productivity, or your performance can get lower. So yeah, it's important for me. It was kind of difficult to like become 100% to work 100% virtually, but nowadays I already got used to it. Well, in my opinion, well, for my view, I prefer working from home nowadays. I believe it's because where I live is really calm. I know from some colleagues that even though they have the opportunity to work remotely, they're in Sao Paulo, they decide to go to the desk to the office because sometimes their children they don't understand that their parents or their mothers they are working at home. So or perhaps the building is so noisy. So there are many factors that can decide you to return to the office or staying at home. So in my case, I don't have children yet, so it's here at home. I am alone because my wife she works in a school. The building where we live, it's really calm, as already said. So I believe it's a good environment for working. On studying, I believe that I get used to be here. I like doing everything like kind of alone, just with some guidance with a virtual teacher. So I believe I prefer virtual as well. Let's move on to the next question. Sorry. Fernanda, could you please the second one and answer it?
Yes, for sure. What are the main advantages of virtual work or study for you? Well, nowadays I work just from home, and I think it's an advantage is that you can organize better your schedule, like have more time maybe to exercising or studying. But as I mentioned, you need to be organized for that. And maybe having more time with your family too, as you don't have to take time to go to other place and arrive at home. So I think these two are a good advantage for me.
I couldn't agree more with you having more time with your loved ones. In my case as well, I take advantage of an hour that we have for sharing the our lunch with my wife because she works really close to the apartment where we live, so she can come back here, and we share an hour at least. And we don't I don't lose, as you said, so much time in my commute or for the commuting to the desk or to the office. So yeah, I believe those are big advantages. Lucas, what about you? What do you think about it? What are the main advantages of virtual work or virtual study?
And for me, it's the main advantage is you don't need to take a crowded bus or train because I don't know how is the public transport in Curitiba, but here in São Paulo it's terrible in the morning and in the afternoon when you are returning home. It's you lost 2 or 3 hours. I think it's more 4 hours in your day going to the work and returning home. So if you don't need to take a bus or a train, you technically you gain more hours in your day. So you need to know how you use these hours in your day. But I think you can work more comfortable and you have more flexibility in your day to do your things and to do your job.
You mentioned something about the public transportation over there in Sao Paulo. Do you think that like people who have a car, it solves the problem, or it's about the traffic as well?
I think here in São Paulo, in the place that we live, exists a line that it's just to the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So just bus uh, can ride for this line,
Mm-hmm. Got it.
and this is terrible at the same time. Uh, there are a lot of cars in the street. I think a lot of people want to go to their work and by car, but a lot of people lives here, so it's crowded in the high way. So I don't know. I think the problem is because there are a lot of people here. You know.
Mm-hmm. Can see. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Sao Paulo has more population than all Bolivia. Do you know that? Just Sao
Really?
Paulo. Yeah, just Sao Paulo.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's really a big, really big city. Thank you so much, Lucas and Fernanda. Ebenezer, what about you? What do you think are the main advantages of virtual or work or virtual studies?
Yeah, talking about virtual work, I think, well, I think I didn't measure how important is virtual work for those who really need to to move big distance, like as uh, our friends were talking uh, now. So yeah, for virtual work, I think the most important is the time you spend on traffic more in those big cities that you really need to start your day really early, it's 5 a.m. or something like that. And and, and virtual world is, I think it's one of the best advantages. You can travel. You cannot stay at the same place. You can maybe, if you have parents or that lives in other place, you can perfectly pass some months and continue working. So it's a great advantage. And for a study, of course, now you have a bunch of courses that you can take from everywhere. So there are a lot of advantage when we talk about virtually, and in thanks to the COVID, I think that these things have changed, and now we can see this like an normal, for it's being normal for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something that you said about like working from another place or another country, it's something that it's real. I remember when I was still living in Bolivia, the COVID hit by our country, and my brother, he and my sister-in-law, they were already living here in Brazil, but because of the COVID-19, they had the chance to stay like 6 months working from Bolivia. It was amazing because their work let us do that kind of like work from another country, you know? And yeah, this kind of jobs, like you work with computers, gives you like this kind of flexibility. Obviously, the company or the institution has to let you do this kind of job because there are some that they don't let you like move into another place and working from. You have to be in the same country, but you cannot leave it. Yeah, so we talked about the advantages. Now we are gonna like to point out some drawbacks or disadvantages. It's a synonym of disadvantages that working or starting online can bring. Lucas, what do you think about the disadvantages or drawbacks or challenges about working or studying online?
Well, when we talk about drawbacks of working and studying online, the first thing that comes to my mind is the isolation, because if you keep the whole day alone, and about if the person needs to have a good time management, yes, I think, to organize the day, because it's so easy to lose the focus. Like, you are in your home. Of course, a lot of people have a specific office, but it's so easy. You get out the office, go to the room or the kitchen, and you can watch a TV or take your cell phone, and just this moment you lost. for about 2 hours watching a video or I don't know other thing or starting to doing other thing. So I think the for me the biggest drawback is isolation and the hard thing to organize your day, working and living in the same place.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. As a matter of fact, I have to be honest. The first month that I started working remotely, I used to have my meetings like on bed without with my camera closed, and just over there like saying anything. So, but nowadays, no, it's not like that. I wake up, I sit on my desk, and I open my camera. So I believe that it's important, and I overcame that syndrome that you are working at home. So yeah, it's real. What about you, Benicer? What do you think about the drawbacks or challenges working online or studying online?
Yeah, let's talk about working first. I think one of the as Lucas said, the isolation, and I have faced that situation. What on July, the restaurant on the place where I work it closed for vacation. So most of the person who goes to the office they pass to be a remote work. So I stayed 1 month working like remote in the morning and in the afternoon, and one of the 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 things that I remember of that period is that when we were working with someone of my squad, and it's time to it's 12 o'clock, time to rest or take to eat a lunch, and and they used to tell me, okay, we're gonna continue this at 2 p.m., but we have to start our work at 1 p.m., but they say, okay, let's continue at 2 p.m. So I think if you don't have like a schedule, or maybe you don't have your how can I say, um, uh, you cannot domain yourself, maybe I think
Hmm.
you can take some time. I don't know, maybe you go eat your lunch and go and take a nap for 1 hour, something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
And that time that you can maybe just spend on in the morning or in the afternoon, that short cuts that you make on your routine, maybe can affect in in the period of labor that you have to work. Maybe you need to stop 5:30. That's the time we stop. But maybe you stay working until 6:37, maybe 8, because in the
Hmm.
day you stop a lot. And so it depends of how organized you are,
Hmm.
and respect your time. And studying online, I think it depends. I think there are courses that you really need to be in person, because
Hmm.
not the theoretical part is what you really need to know. Maybe you need to know about the experience, or maybe you need to know more about uh, how other persons are understanding the subject, or something like that.
Hmm.
And it's important, the communication, and not communication. When we are talking about communication, I think we talk about not just talk, maybe feelings, maybe gestures, or something
Hmm.
like that. So I think it's one of the things that it could be a drawback.
Thank you so much for your insight, Ebenezer. I agree with the points that you bring to the table. Fernanda, I would like to know from you. What do you think are the biggest drawbacks or challenges of working or studying online?
Well, about the drawbacks, I think it's difficult because of some of the points that colleagues mentioned about feeling lonely. And also, something I want to add is that when you work from home and stay a lot of time at your house, it's easy to feel guilty if you are not being productive. Maybe, oh, I will take more time for lunch, for example, but I need to work. Have a lot of things to do. So sometimes you can feel guilty because you are not being a productive person. Sometimes it happens with me, so I think it normally can happen. And about studying, I think that it's good, but maybe you don't have this change of ideas, this conversation with others about the subject. So this is a bad thing about studying online. Maybe if it's like a course just with classes without interaction with others. So I think maybe this is a challenge that you can have by studying online.
Yeah, the immediate feedback would be a good example because when we are in a room with a teacher, sometimes we have some doubts or some questions, and we have the time at least to ask to their teacher about the question, and sometimes or the work of the teacher would be like respond to that question or the doubt. We don't have that sometimes that kind of feedback because I believe that majority of online courses are like asynchronous. There are like videos. I know that as well. There are some courses like language learning courses where you have a real process in another screen or in the other side of the screen, but I believe it's important to have that interaction as well with other people. One example that I could bring to the table in my personal experience is that nowadays I am the only member of my team who lives in another country. So when I go sometimes to the meetings, to the in person, that as a matter of fact I will have one this next weekend. I feel that I don't know my team because I just know them like remotely. Like I can see their faces over here. We talk about work. We talk about uh, just work. But when we meet, we don't have like a closer relationship. And I feel that all of them they know better. They don't well each other. But I feel like I'm not part of that group yet. So I believe it's a drawback that working remotely. So let's move on to the next question. Lucas, could you please read the fourth one and answer it?
Yes, yes. How has the technology changed the way we work or study today? I think nowadays it becomes more. Uh, I think it's hardest to find a course in person. I think a lot of courses, maybe the more than half of the courses is online, and this is good for some person. Like if you are a teacher, it's good because you don't need to get out to your home to work. Because I think in the past it was it was not isn't common to work at home like as a teacher. And in the same time, if the person is stayed at home, the person needs to have a good management. Oh, it is hard, this word. I I give up. Try to talk. The person really needs to organize and planning the day or the studies to enjoy the course. Uh, but I think the technology made the things more easy. If you wanted to learn or to work, you can get it. You just need to uh, have a notebook, and you can find a lot of courses online. And if you want to work, you of course you work a lot, but I think it's, I don't know if easy it's the correct word, but it's more, have a more possibility to work. I think it's the correct word.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lucas. I think that technology has changed completely the game, the way that we work and the way that we study nowadays. Obviously, there are some kind of works that nowadays it's like impossible to do it virtually. But on the other hand, I believe studying it's totally possible. I'm gonna say that 90% of the subjects nowadays you can learn from internet, at least the theoretical part. All of the information is over there. Um, and some subjects, like for example, language learning is something that you can completely do it online. You can find a good teacher like Fernanda is, or you can find different resources on internet, and all of that combination will help you to reach a good English or good language or good English with a Spanish level without the necessity to live in your home. But there are some that will need a different kind of practice. So yeah, it's internet and technology has been a game-changing resource that we have the possibility to use nowadays. Fernando, what do you think about it?
Well, I think it's let me read the question again. I forgot the question.
No problem at all.
It's which one?
The
Four.
fourth one.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think as you guys mentioned, it's good to maybe if you don't have so, in my opinion, if you don't have so much time, you can study a little bit after work in an online course, for example, or maybe uh, schedule a time in your routine and research for content in the subject that you want. So I think the technology helps a lot about finding subjects that you are interested in and learn by yourself. I think it helps in that if you want to be more independent, I don't know, by your studies, I think it's good.
Thank you so much for your comment, for your insight, Fernanda. And I would like to know from you, Benicer, what do you think about it? You work with technology and how it has changed the way that we work, or you work, or the way that you study nowadays.
Yeah, no, uh, now we are talking about AI, and I think 2 weeks before we were talking about this. So, how technology changed the way we work? I think AI has changed a lot because now we really depend on technology. I don't know if you guys or what kind of tool you use when you need to use an AI. And I use now I'm using Copilot. But sometimes I really it's very funny because I really think that the copilot it's me and the AI is the pilot because I continually I am asking to the AI for something that I don't understand. So mm, the AI and study have changed a lot because now you can something that you don't understand. Maybe you're studying something like something, maybe a new language you can practice with the AI, or maybe you are coursing I don't know any subject, and you take a book and read, and if there are something that you don't understand, you can ask to AI, and you're gonna maybe hit closer to the perfect meaning. So I think technology has made our life easier, yeah, when we are talking about work. And for a study, actually, uh, sometimes you can spend talking about maybe 5 years ago, we spent a lot looking for a good book or something like some subject that you wanna master on,
Hmm.
and now it's easier. You can uh, make some good prompts to the AI to get a really good answers. So technology has improved that, or maybe has short the time you spend maybe in some process that could be automized by AI, or maybe in the
Hmm.
study getting a better result.
Yeah. Yeah, AI has like make our life easier in some aspects, even more in IT area. Well, I believe in every single subject we can learn from it. We can get information for it from it. Sorry, I believe that's a good resource that we can use nowadays for studying and for working. So let's move on to the next question. We have still almost 20 minutes to keep talking about this subject. I'm gonna skip the fifth one, so let's read the sixth one. Uh, Lucas, could you please read the sixth one and answer it? And answer
Yes.
it.
How do virtual meetings or class affect communication among colleagues or students? Uh, I think I think have a difference between virtual meetings and presential or in person, the meetings or reunion. But in the same time, I think meetings is board, presential or online, so you need to talk about something that you don't want, and in a lot of moments you will spend 2 hours talking about something, and nothing will change after the meeting. So no, I think it's the same. It's when we talk about to do a presentation in a different place, like you need to have a presentation about a project, and you present this in a, I don't know how to say, auditorium, and with a lot of people there, you think, oh my god, it's a hard thing, or it's a different thing, it's a in a different space. I think it's more hard than you presentate presentate this in your home by a notebook with a lot of windows, and I think it's more comfortable to do this in your home and in virtual. But when we talk about meetings, I think it's bored in the same time, and I think it's don't change a lot.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you with that part that it's doing presentations online. It's easier, kind of easier because you can have like your uh the coliña. Yesterday I said the same thing. I don't know how to say coliña in English. You can have this kind of information here and still and keep talking. It's so difficult. More difficult do it in person, and I feel more nervous when I'm like in that moment present in front of people, like explaining something. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you so much, Lucas. Ebenezer, what do you think about it? The question number 6.
Well, I think virtual meetings are more like let's cut to the chase and go to the real thing we have to do. It's something like that. Or maybe in my case, when for any reason we need to make a video call with some of my colleagues of the team. It's just, hey, hi, how are you? It's okay. Okay, let's go to do what we need to do, and we finish and we end the call. So I think we lose that communication that could be the maybe body language, a different energy, or maybe try to connect with colleagues. It's like it's less rich the conversation when you are in a virtual meeting, and I think those aspects are important when you want to know more about the word the about about your teams and yeah, I think that's one of the most what can I see in about virtual meetings.
Yeah, communication is really different, as you mentioned it. And yeah, for me, it's the same. I don't feel the same when I am in a in-person meeting than when I am in a virtual meeting. Yeah, that's normal. That's something that happens regularly. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. And Fernando, what do you think about it? Do you think that virtual classes affect communication among colleagues or students?
I think maybe in the classes in person, maybe you have a different relation with people. Like you maybe you can interpret better the body language, for example, or also know more information about the people. I think it's maybe it's easier. In virtual meetings, I think it's easier to be distracted. I don't know about, oh, I will search something here in my computer and I will miss what is being taught in the class. So I think in this point of focus, I think it's more complicated to have attention in what is being said, to communicate in a good way with the colleagues. Maybe it can happen, but I don't know if I answer well, but that's it.
There is no like correct answer or an incorrect answer, so it's
Mm-hmm.
completely okay. Thank you so much. And I have a question for you. Do you have you taught some sorry. Had you taught in present Spanish? Some like
Person?
in the past or just virtually?
No, never.
Okay.
Once
Uh,
I had a tournament. I don't know at Wizard, but it was just for knowing the school and but I never teach it in this school. I teach it that, but it was online classes,
okay, got
not
it.
in
Thank you
person.
so much, sir. So let's move on to the next question. Well, I believe that I didn't answer this one. Well, communication is something that can be like deteriorated if you just stay at home, like working alone. Even though you speak with people through this kind of platform like Zoom or Teams, it's not the same. I try to like participate in like in group conversations here. For example, in my church, we have our service on Wednesday night and on Saturdays. So those kind of activities makes me like feel that I surrounded by real people. That's the moment that I realized that. my communication is being affected by just being alone, because I cannot like express myself the way that I do it. I do here at home, because I feel that I'm in my comfort zone. But when I'm in a group with more people, real people, it's different. And sometimes I cannot express myself, or I cannot find the right words. I cannot organize my ideas, and that's the moment that I say no. I need to have more interaction with real people, or at least with a person in front of me. So yeah, I believe the communication can be deteriorated if we just work or study virtually. Let's move on to the next question. We have more time, yeah, enough time to answer more, one or two more. Ebenezer, could you please read the seventh one and answer it?
Okay, it says, what skills are necessary to succeed in virtual work or studies? So, okay, well, I think one of the most important is time management, and try to organize. Maybe you can make an agenda at the beginning of the day. Try to accomplish all the tasks you write on your list. Another thing maybe it's necessary. It's to try to make a good communication. Something that happens to me is like we are maybe in a video call with, or in a voice call with one colleague, and maybe when the program is building or something like that, or we are in silence. Maybe I can ask more about him. How is he, or something like that. Maybe can I have a proactive communication? And what else could be another one? I think maybe if you are working remotely, maybe one of the most important things is use good tools to make better the collaboration. I think there are a lot of tools to that we use. To, in our case, um, we use a lot of Discord, or in code we use live share. And so mastering those tools can make that remote work is not like remote, and that maybe they can connect, like emulate, like we were working in a physical place.
Yeah, as you said, self organization. I believe that you have to be like a self-motivated person, because you don't have nobody like over there like the saying sometimes what you have to do, or the task that you have to complete. Obviously you can see it over there in our case in the Kanban board, but you have to be like a self-motivated person to do that. So organization, a motivated person, I believe it's some skills that can be used when you work remotely. Fer, what do you think about it?
I agree about this that you mentioned about organization. I think it's really important because it, it's easier to, oh, I will do this after lunch. Oh, I will do other thing. Don't do what is really necessary about your job and your studies. And I think also maybe take some, maybe I don't know how to say this in English. Take some time for each task, maybe or actually take some focus time during the day. Oh, I will take 2 hours to do my important task from today, so I will be focused on that. And after I go, I don't know, I leave a little bit, I go to do other things. So I think it's important this skill to be focused on what is necessary. That's it.
Yeah, and get distracted is easier when you are here with your screen and we have a lot of application open over there, and sometimes we don't pay attention to our meeting, for example. That happens to me sometimes. I keep working sometimes when the meeting get boring, sorry. And it's a meeting perhaps that have could have been like just an email. So I keep working and keep working. So yeah. That's and I lose the focus. Thank you so much, Fer. Lucas, go ahead. What do you think about the skills that are needed for working or studying online?
I think it's important to be organized, focused, and it's important to have a good communication to virtual meetings. And you need to know how to use correctly the available tools like AI and a lot of AIs that exist.
Yeah, it's learning how to use AI in different aspects is crucial nowadays. I believe it can be like useful for every single kind of subject or kind of job. So it's not just for specific like areas or fields. Let me see here. I believe that we have enough time to answer one more question. So let's go to the last one, the 15 one. So I want to read this one. How can virtual collaboration be improved to feel more natural or engaging? Mm, I'm not sure if it can be like improved. It's gonna be like that. I believe that if I was thinking about it, perhaps if we use like three-dimensional gadgets, like those kind of glasses, and you can feel that you are in the place, is the only way that you can it can be a little bit more natural in my opinion, because just using like an application, we sometimes for our meetings we use like a video game where you are like a character and you can walk over there and you go to the table and your colleagues are as well another character, and it's like a video game. I'm not sure if you have played Pokemon in Game Boy or Game Boy Advance. So it's like the context is like that, but it's not the same. So I believe that it's I'm not sure when it's gonna be possible to feel more natural or like feel closer to your colleagues working remotely or in collaborate on it comes to collaboration. So that's my opinion. What do you think about it, Fer?
I think maybe it's a little bit difficult, like having this engaging, but I think it's important maybe have some interaction between the during the meeting, like, oh, let's do some dynamic, oh, let's talk, understand more about each other. I think it's important to have this kind of questions to know more about the people, not just being, oh, I will just study or I will just work. I think it's important to have these situations. And that's it.
Thank you so much. Now, Lucas, go ahead. What do you think about it?
For me, I think it's difficult to improve to become something more natural. I think you can talk with the person by a virtual meeting every day or a week, but the first time that you see the person in person, I think will be a shock because it is totally different to talk uh, here and to see the person in the real day.
That happened to me. I had a colleague, like it was like a new colleague, and on meetings, on online meetings, he seemed like it was like a really tall and like strong guy. When I met him in real person, it was like smaller than me and really tight. teen, I believe it's the word. And yeah, it can happen. And yeah, it's something that happens normally nowadays. Ebenezer, could you please close this conversation with your insights? You're muted.
Okay. I think everything's possible, but when you say how can virtual collaboration be improved, the unique thing that comes to my head, it's the I don't know if you have heard about this, but now there are kind of surgeons that can perform a surgery online. They perform in a special machines, and they can operate from a special machine to another part of the world. So it's a maybe a surgeon that cannot travel to another country to operate.
Mm,
Just and now he is able to make a surgery online.
mm,
It's I think it's a really big advantage. But I think and if we can do that kind of thing, I think everything is possible.
mm,
And like Meta, but I don't know what's going on with Meta from Facebook, but
mm.
there are a lot of ideas of trying to virtualize life, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. So unfortunately, we ran out of time, so we don't have time for sharing our experience here. This the feedback moment, and I have to thank you again for having attended this conversation. And I hope to see you the next time. That is gonna be the next Monday, so you cannot lose this time that we can practice more and learn more from our own experiences. Thank you